I'm joined here today by Dave Knopf, who's an active military vet, very active in the community. You will see him everywhere, and he's very, very knowledgeable. So welcome, Dave. Tell us first, how should people respect the flag?
Yes, thanks again for the invite and introduction. Hopefully I can answer your questions today, but to respect the flag, there's many ways you can do that, I expect. But to start with, we can go to parades, we can go to where you might see it at schools, but never, always when in a parade, we'll start with the parade then. So when a parade's coming through town, like this summer, whenever we have the Water Carnival Parade, or any parade you go to, generally a color guard will lead a parade, or a flag will be in the beginning of a parade. And so when the first flag comes through in a parade, that's when you don't have to stand for all successful flags later in succession. But the first flag, when you see the flag coming, everybody that's on it should stand, face the street, face the flag. And as the flag is coming to you, if you're a soldier, then you can salute. But if you're just a citizen on the street, and what you would do is stand, face the flag, and if you have headgear on, remove your headgear, put your hat on your left shoulder and your hand on your heart. And as the flag passes, once it has passed you, you can put your hat back on and sit down. Normally, it's just the first flag. If you want to stand for every flag in a parade after that, but the courtesy is the first flag generally. And if you see, and then you want to never would you use the flag as a piece of cloth where you might put emblems on it or anything else. The flag should always be respected. Never let me touch the ground. It should never be allowed to touch anything underneath it. You know, if it's, be it the table, it would just always keep it. And then never use the flag. You see it, and some people have it as, they think, as a neat ornament to hang it on the flag inside of a building. The flag is never to be suspended from a ceiling as a cover. And the flag always should be, if it's suspended in a building, it needs to be hung in a vertical. If it's in vertical, the flag is always up to, the stars are always up to, as you view it, upper left-hand corner. Mm-hmm. When it's horizontal, it's still up in the upper left-hand corner. When you, if a flag is going to be presented and sat on a stage where there's could be an event of some type, the flag always should be presented ahead of the event, and then the American flag sits to the right of the speaker on the stage. And then all other successive flags sit to the left of speakers.
So I'm not going to use the flag as a tablecloth or a bedspread, and I'm not going to hang it on the wall down this way?
You can hang it on the wall vertically, but you do want to have that flag posted with the colors up in the upper left-hand corner.
Okay.
Because if you take a flag and you just turn and tip it down, and people do that, then the stars get up on the right-hand corner. They need to be posted either way up in the upper left-hand corner.
Okay, that makes sense to me. And do you have any idea why the flag is folded the way it's folded? We're going to have you demonstrate that later, but has it always been that way?
As far as I know, it has always been that way.
Yeah.
And a casket flag, if you see a flag on a casket, the casket flag of every veteran gets the flag on a casket. It's positioned on the casket with the flag, the colors, the blue and the colors up in the upper left-hand corner, on the head of the casket with the stars to the upper left shoulder.
Wow, so even on a casket,
yes.
It has to be laid a particular
yes.
way. Okay, very good. So I'm not going to sew a bolero out of it or anything?
No, the flag cannot be used as a piece of clothing or cloth. It's not to ever be. It can be worn on uniforms only if it's like the firemen, EMT, or firemen, policemen, veterans, military, and if you're like we have the honor guard in town, whatever, we can wear it on our uniform. If you're part of a organization, a veterans organization, you can wear a little small flag on your lapel.
So like I'm doing.
Yeah, and your lapel, if it's on your lapel like you, yes, it should be on your right side.
My right side?
I mean, the left side as you have it. I'm sorry, left. Because always over your heart.
Yep, that always makes sense.
Yes,
okay.
always
and
wear
I'm allowed to wear it even though I'm not a vet?
Right.
Okay, anybody can do that. Good to know. And is if we had to get rid of a flag, because like mine in my front yard can get all scraggly and yuck, and then I'm embarrassed to fly it. So what do I do with that flag?
That's a good point. There's a lot of discussion about that. There's the veteran organization, and once a year we'll probably have a formal meeting. How you well, they'll go over. There's quite a little program how you can they do the flag. Will go to 6-7 different stations. They'll talk about whether it's ready to be just burned or just. But you can burn a flag. You got to burn it. I mean, a lot of people would rather, if they're nervous about doing that, just bring it to the American Legion or the VFW. So, because a lot of people have been told we should never burn the flag, and that's the best way. If you burn it, you burn it in this place where nobody will. It's not a viewed burning. But so many flags get put away somewhere and thrown in a closet. It's almost better off to discard them. And if you have questions about it, just bring it to the organization, veterans or the VFW. But you can burn them yourself, but not in an open display.
So just to clarify, if my raggedy flag that I'm going to replace, I could burn it privately.
Privately, yes.
Dispose of it, or I could bring it to the VFW, American Legion, or somebody, and they would dispose of it for me?
That's correct.
Oh, very good.
And a lot of people just get nervous about doing it themselves because we've been taught not to ever burn the flag.
Right.
But it's not to display it publicly when you do it.
Okay, so it's not an event.
It's not an event.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. And is there any rule for flying the flag at home? I have a flagpole in my front yard. Do I have to follow like the federal government if they say we're flying at half-mast today because, Jimmy Carter passed away or whatever? Do I have to do that at my home too?
You should. That's just respect for the flag. And generally the person that does it, the President of the United States, will say that there's usually if it's a government official or some high dignity the President will say you fly flags at half-mast. Yeah, so you should do that when it's being followed by the President of the United States. Usually is the one that can do that. I know state governors seem to have done it at times, but they have the capacity to do that too. But generally, state officials and high government people.
Sometimes I see a flag at half-mast and I don't know. Maybe I've been on vacation. I'm not listening to the news, and I don't. Where would I go to find out why is that at half-mast, other than asking the people that I encounter? Would I find that somewhere? Or do you have any idea?
I don't really know other than usually I see that too, and I'll ask to go call somebody myself and find out.
Okay.
I don't know if there's a good answer. At least I don't have an answer to help you with that.
Okay.
But generally, there's a reason for it. It might be like when President Carter died. We realized that when he died, I believe it was a 30-day where we kept our flags at half-mast.
Wow.
And obviously, the other day, or not that long ago, our Pope passed away, so the President allowed the flags to be flown at half-mast for that too.
Was that 30 days too?
No, I don't believe it was 30.
It's a shorter one.
Just to so many days before and after the funeral, I think.
Okay.
Up to.
And then if I'm putting a flag up, like down by our pavilion in Detroit Lakes here, we have a flag. We have the American flag, the state flag, and I think a POW flag right now. Where do those go? How do you choose? And do they flag at the same height? Yeah. Or does the American flag have to be higher, or to the right, or the left? Do you have any idea how that works? Yes,
well, actually, the American flag is always flown the highest of any flag. All other flags are usually at least 6 inches lower when they're flying on adjacent poles. American flag is always flown the highest. Any other country flags flown at the same time are flown at the same elevation, though.
Okay.
All state flags and other organization flags are flown at least 6 inches lower, so they obviously shows. And when we're in a parade, the American flag, if you want to go in a parade, the American flag is always stood at a vertical position. All other flags are dipped a few inches ahead to honor So American flag always never dips. It's always stand vertical. And you take the American flag. American flag should never be folded or crushed in any other way. It hangs straight down, but you're not to gather together and make it like a saw where you fold up curtains or whatever.
And then I have one other question that I'm thinking about the beauty of seeing the flag on a casket. So that is for vets, I assume? Yes, you have to be a veteran to get that flag, and most funeral homes will automatically, the families will do that. Some would rather not have it on. I guess most times the flag is unfolded. Sometimes the casket will come with a folded flag, and the veterans organizations will fold that flag after the service and give it to the family. That's a great honor. I know my mom has one, and we had the box, and it's really beautiful. So someday in Detroit Lakes, can't you donate those to the cemetery where they hang them all
Yes.
at Memorial Day?
Yes,
weekend?
Memorial Day and Veterans Day,
Okay.
up at Oak Grove Cemetery, there's over 600 flags being flown up there every Memorial Day and fewer on Veterans Day. It's a lot of work to put them up, but it's a
Yes.
beautiful site. And there's an organization, you can go to the VF for the American Legion again and get a form, and it'll give you the information necessary to who you can donate those to.
We're going to take a minute now, and Dave is going to show us how to properly fold a flag with assistance from another League of Women Voters member, Sandy Torgerson.
Dave, I have really always wanted to know how to fold a flag, and someone told me that you're pretty good at it. So can you help me out?
Well,
or can I help you?
I'm going to try. We definitely, folding the flag, it looks simpler sometimes and it is sometimes.
Okay.
But you start generally with holding the flag flat, bring your corners vertically to the top,
Okay.
and then stretch up the flag vertically down. And then once you get it squared up, corners, fold it flat again. Now bring your corners together again. Always bring the right side up
Okay.
to the top and get it all. And try to get our flag so that some cloth doesn't hang straight on them. They're not all perfect. Get a nice, and we lay her flat down.
Okay.
Then I'll start folding the flag from my end. Fold a closed end to the open end of a flag.
And then you need me
Try
to
to-
put a little tension on this, Dave?
You keep a little tension on it. Don't
All
slide
right.
me across the carpet though.
Yeah, well, if you start sliding, I'll know it's too tight.
Yes. We try to make nice, perfect folds so when you get to the other end that the flag comes out with a little tail so you can tuck it in.
Okay.
We'll see how that works here today.
Okay. I've had a question for a long time, Dave, about flying the flag upside down. If I see that, is that a sign of something? Is it a disrespectful thing? When should that happen or never?
Well, if you see it flying upside down, if people are doing that just for disrespect for the country, that's not right. But if there's one flowing like that, it could be a sign of somebody's in distress.
Okay.
And maybe you should check and see if that's what the issue is. But if they're flying it just out of disrespect for the country, that's wrong.
Okay.
So-
So I would check on the person
Yeah.
because there's a reason
Yes,
for
that
it.
would
Okay.
be-
I've
that'd be
never heard that before.
Okay, and then okay. We'll just keep trying to fold these, continue to make triangles right and left until we
Okay.
get to the top. Always, when we get to the top, hopefully it works out right. We won't have no red showing.
Okay.
We'll see how that works here today.
While you're folding, can I ask another question? When is the proper time to fly a flag? All day long, 24/7? What should happen?
Well, you can fly a flag all day long, but it should be lit at night. Otherwise,
Okay.
your flag is flowing from sunrise to sunset.
Okay.
You raise the flag at a fast pace, and you lower it at a slow pace.
Okay.
And you take it down. So, and then flag can always be, like I say, if it's raining or stormy, they say you should take them in too, because a normal flag as they're built, they only last about
So long?
90 days, and then
Okay.
they still wear out.
Yep, that makes
So
sense.
we'll see how we're going to come out here now on this at
Okay.
the end here.
I hope you don't have to fire me, Dave.
Well, we probably won't fire you. We're not perfect, but we're going to take and bring your
Okay.
tail in here. We got a little extra, but fold the tails in so that
Okay.
and tuck it in underneath here.
All right, so this will all go in the fold.
Yes, and we work
Okay.
together to make that work.
As long as we work together, it's going
Yes.
to be okay?
Yes, we're going to make it work.
All right, I like that.
We're going to try to make this look. It should have 4 stars showing on the face when you're done, but
If any of Dave's friends are watching and this doesn't work out, you can blame it on me.
well, I
the
tell you,
rookie.
there's no rookies, but that didn't work out perfect, but we got it tucked in like that and it's folded a nice triangle.
Okay.
Flatten it down the best you can. So
And then was there a certain number of stars that should be on the
yeah,
one
well,
side?
if it's folded, when some flags when they fold out, you'll see them when they're in a casket when they've been given to a family. It'll be sitting in a little case. You usually try to have 3 stars and then 1 on top on one side. So, well, we did pretty good on this side, I guess. We're just a little bit off though. Not bad
We're
though.
going to take it.
We're going to take that. Thanks a lot, Sandy.
Thank you. And thanks for your service, Dave.
Thank you.
Appreciate you very much.
It was an honor to be here today with
It
you.
was an honor for me. Thanks.
We learned today that the flag is more than a decoration or a piece of cloth. Thank you to Dave for all this information today and for joining us. We learned the flag is a symbol of the
Thank
ideals
you.
of this country and for the freedom, the unity, the courage. It's flown during our proudest moments and difficult times as well. This episode of the Snack Size Civics was sponsored in honor of my aunt and godmother, Leatrice Joy Wirtz. If you want to be a sponsor of an episode, please contact a League member.